CGTN Radio. Hear the difference.
Get the unmissable news stories of the day.
This is the Beijing Hour.
Examining the events that impact and shape China and the rest of the world. This is the Beijing Hour. 1 hour of news and information brought to you every weekday. Now here's your host.
Shane Bigham with you on this Wednesday, October 11th, 2023. You're listening to the Beijing Hour, coming to you live from the Chinese capital. On today's program, China is marking the progress of the Belt and Road Initiative as Beijing and its partners celebrate 10 years of cooperation under that framework. Israel says military has retaken border areas seized by Hamas militants over the weekend. Romania vows ongoing support for Ukraine's efforts to export grain to global markets. In business, foreign financial institutions are bullish on China's growth prospects. In sports, the home favorite crashes out at the ATP Shanghai Masters. In culture and entertainment, the Tokyo International Film Festival will honor one of China's top directors later this month. Now checking the day's top stories. China's Belt and Road Initiative is marking its 10th anniversary. The Chinese Foreign Ministry says the third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation will be held in Beijing on October 17th. President Xi Jinping will deliver a speech at the opening ceremony and host a banquet for foreign leaders and heads of international organizations attending that event. Well, meantime, China's released a white paper which highlights some of the major achievements brought about by the BRI over the past decade. The report notes that the BRI prioritizes connectivity of infrastructure and has been building an infrastructure network comprising 6 corridors, 6 routes, and multiple countries and ports. It cites progress in the construction of economic corridors and international routes, such as the Pelješac Bridge uniting Croatia and the 1,000-kilometer China Rail Railway. The white paper says the maritime connectivity has boosted cargo transport efficiency. In aviation, China signed air transport agreements with over 100 BRI partner countries and opened direct flights with 57 partner nations. International transport channels such as the China-Europe Railway Express and the Lianyungang-Korgos New Eurasian Land Sea Expressway have become operational. As a major participant in Europe, Serbia has been seeing tangible benefits since it signed up for the initiative. Here's Serbian Parliament Speaker Vladimir Orlic sharing his thoughts.
The Serbia Expressway, built by the Chinese, is known to everybody. The Belgrade-Novi Sad section of the already built Hungary-Serbia Railway is being extended and upgraded. Serbia-China cooperation has also made great achievements in energy and other areas.
Meantime, the Nepal Prime Minister pledges to build on the momentum of the BRI and push for better development in his country.
has provided Nepal with important critical adversary. Nepal should implement the BRI to accelerate development and promote prosperity, and transform itself from a landlocked country to a land-linked country.
That was the Nepali Prime Minister. Serbia is one of the countries benefiting from the Belt and Road Initiative, with the century-old steel mill in the northeastern city of Smederevo serving as a prime example. Founded in 1913, the Smederevo steel mill once contributed 40% of the city's revenue at its peak and was known as the Pride of Serbia. Later, due to intensified market competition and poor operation, the steel mill began to lose money year after year and was on the verge of bankruptcy. The government of Serbia initiated several rounds of international tenders, all of which failed until the steel mill came into a favorable turn in 2016. Leo Jahang has more.
Mladen Aleksic worked in the Serbian steel mill for 30 years. It was a place where he was emotionally attached, and the job supported his family.
It was a big pressure, not only for management, but it was a big pressure for people, because they didn't know what is coming tomorrow.
In April 2016, when over 5,000 employees faced uncertainty, Hebei Iron and Steel Group from China stepped in to establish HBIS Serbia Steel. Aleksic is now the director of operations. The company's executive director, Song Sihai, a Chinese national. Upon his arrival in Serbia, Song noted the outdated equipment and nearly halted production lines at the steel mill.
We teamed up with Serbia because it made sense for our business, and it aligned with the Belt and Road Initiative. In the past, our country's steel industry made some investments abroad, but this is the first ever acquisition and operation of the entire industrial chain.
Just 2 months after the founding of HBI Serbia Steel, on June 19th, the century-old steel mill received a special guest. Thousands of employees, their families, and Smederevo residents gathered at the factory to greet Chinese President Xi Jinping. Alexis says he was much honored to have the opportunity to meet him.
After President Xi's speech, everyone knew that the Smederevo steel mill was about to usher in a new future. I was very honored to participate in that conversation, followed by showing President Xi our hot-rolling equipment. I also had the opportunity to have a few minutes of cordial conversation with him.
President Xi said the collaboration between Chinese and Serbian businesses had ushered in a new era of cooperation between the two countries. It is expected that through the strong partnership between both parties, the Smederevo steel mill will rejuvenate, making a significant contribution to local employment, enhancing the quality of life for the people, and advancing Serbia's economic growth. The Chinese team introduced advanced management and technology, turning the steel mill into a global enterprise with a focus on plants and supply chain. According to Director Song Si-hai, by the end of 2016, only 8 months after HBI's takeover, the steel mill became profitable.
We have kept all 5,000 jobs intact, keeping our workers. Since 2018, we have been Serbia's top exporters for 4 years straight, surpassing production records that go back more than 100 years.
HBI Serbian Steel invested several billion yuan to dismantle the plant's old buildings and equipment. It continuously introduced advanced global technologies and techniques, ensuring that the steel plant meets leading European standards for energy conservation, environmental protection, and green manufacturing. Boban Todorovic works at the HBS Serbia Steel Company.
Most people working here span 3 or 4 generations. I am the second generation in my family to work in the steel plants. When you tell someone you are a worker at Hebei Serbian Steel, it symbolizes success to them.
Hebei Serbian Steel actively integrates into the Belt and Road and the process of economic globalization, rapidly establishing itself as a highly competitive steel enterprise in Europe and a prime example of international industrial collaboration. The revival of the century-old steel plant also revitalized the city. Now in Smederevo, the livelihoods of 20,000 people are connected to the steel plant. The unemployment rate has dropped from 18% to 6%, while fiscal revenue has more than doubled. For the Beijing Hour, this is Liu Jiaheng.
The UN General Assembly has elected 15 states to serve on the Human Rights Council for a new term. They include China, Cote d'Ivoire, Cuba, France, and Malawi. This will be China's 6th time serving. The results were decided through a secret ballot on Tuesday. A candidate must obtain more than half of the votes of member states to be elected. The 15 selected countries will begin their 3-year term on the first day of next year. The Geneva-based council aims to promote and protect human rights around the world. But a third of the 47 members are replaced every year for the sake of continuity. Another earthquake has hit Afghanistan, leaving at least 1 death and 55 people injured. Media reports say the magnitude 6.3 earthquake in the early hours of Wednesday shook the northwest of the country at a depth of 10 kilometers. A series of quakes struck Afghanistan last week, killing over 2,400 people. Marialai Abbasson reports from Afghanistan.
There was a really heavy earthquake this morning again, which shook many areas, including the provincial capital. The people here, there are dozens of tents everywhere, raised and roadsides, and there are ordinary and local people that are gathered from their shelters and houses because of the fear of the aftershocks and other earthquakes that we've been experiencing since last couple of days that I am here in Hervat City. Families, children, kids in these tents, and they've been living in fear in these tents along with their families, and they've been having a hard time because the nights are much more chilly and it's cold for them, And I've been speaking to most of them in this area, and they told me that this is a huge and chaotic moment. They've been frustrated because of the recent casualties and fatalities in many villages, and there are still fears like it's been continuously happening.
That was Marilai Abison reporting from Harat.